Hey everybody, as Jay just said, my name is Ryan Woods, and over the next couple weeks and months and semesters of youth group, we are going to be continuing to go through Romans, and I have the privilege this week of sharing just a little bit about creation and how God's glory is displayed throughout in Romans 1. So we're going to dive in because I find it so interesting. Because of the way that God has created this world, we are without excuse of knowing how good and glorious God is. In Romans 1, verse 18, it starts with, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven until all against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth, for what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made. So they were without excuse." What Paul is writing here is that creation is the sermon that God has given us every day. We don't have to only have the Bible for you to see how good God is. You can just see God's glory and his power, his invisible attributes, as it says, by what we see in creation. Here in Florida, we get a lot of summer sunsets, and those typically come after our summer showers and thunderstorms. And when I look at that, when I'm going out fishing, I'd go fishing a lot in the evening, and I'll be coming through my little boat that I'm puttering around, and sometimes I'll just shut the engine off. And as the summer storms are dissipating, as the sun's going down to the horizon, I'm seeing just a display of color. And you see the blues, the reds, the yellows, the oranges. The clouds are starting to just shape in a way that casts shadows across everywhere. The temperature, because of the storm, is now lower. It's not so hot as it normally is here. And I just sit in glory because God is displaying just a glimpse of his beauty and his creativity in this sunset. And I sit before him, and it reminds me of some Psalms. Psalm 19, where it says, so the glory of God, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaim his handiwork. And you just see the handiwork of God, something that's only going to last for a few minutes, but you can rest and be like, wow, God, you are creative. You love us. There is nothing in this natural world. There's no survival instinct that I need to have an emotional response to seeing the sunset, the colors. The colors themselves, they don't really mean anything. But when I see them together, I just see how the heavens are declaring your glory and your creativity. And it's just something I praise him for. It also reminds me of Psalm 8, verses 3 and 4, where it says, "When I look at your heavens, the works of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place. What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him?" As I'm looking and seeing just how big God is, and in that moment on the boat when I'm seeing how small I am, I have frequently moments where I say, God, you are the God of this universe, and yet you care for me, that you've set a way for me to be in relationship with you through Jesus. And it just sets me to have time of prayer and really meditate on what he's done for my life, the way that he's created this world. And again, it just reminds me of his creativity. And so God didn't have to make the sunsets. He didn't have to make them beautiful. He didn't have to make the world so breathtaking and creative, but he did so to display his glory. And so my challenge to you is to try to find a time to get out of the day-to-day, get out of your routine, get out in nature, leave your phone behind, maybe go with somebody or go by yourself, spend some time in prayer and enjoy God's creation. Look up at the heavens and see how big God is and how beautiful he's made this world. And just acknowledge that he loves and he's made a way for us to be with him, and praise him for that. So that's just my encouragement for you this morning. Tomorrow we're going to continue in on, and for the rest of the week, for Romans 1, just looking into creation and then how we put aside what God has done and try to live our own lives and to the consequence of that. We'll see you tomorrow.